If you want to transform your hair naturally for free, easily with a simple hack, actually 3 hacks, keep watching this video. I'm going to share with you exactly what I did, and I have completely transformed my hair in the last 9 months. This is really simple and easy that you can start doing at home today. Hear my story. I struggled with pretty significant hair loss and hair breakage back in September, and it was quite devastating and frustrating because I've always had very thick hair. Not thick hair, I have a lot of fine hair, but like a lot of it. So it was never like an issue for me. But in September, it was quite obvious that like I had like a lot of hair coming out in the shower, and I would brush it, and I would style it, and it was just breaking a lot. I had to do something, and I want to share with you guys if any of you are experiencing the same thing. I just want to share what worked for me, and it's not any product. You don't have to buy anything. It's nothing difficult either. It's super, super simple. And when you hear it, you're gonna be like, what? But I swear, like, this worked for me, and I just wanna share it. So hear me out. I didn't change much in my routine. Like, I tried a lot of things with just through trial and error. I learned what actually really worked, and I learned how to properly take care of my hair. And I thought was always good with taking care of my hair, but clearly not. So there's different types of hair loss. There's hair loss that literally your hair is coming out of your scalp, and then there's hair breakage. And in either case, you're not gonna grow long, healthy hair if you're struggling with either or. And I basically had both. The hair falling out, I think was more hormonal, and I'm going to make a totally separate video on that. Today, I'm just gonna talk about how to prevent hair breakage so that you can grow out long, healthy hair. Because yes, you could go to the salon and you can trim your hair every single month. Like, that's what's recommended, and nothing wrong with that. You're gonna have nice healthy ends, but it won't solve the issue of breakage like in the middle of your hair shaft. So what I did, it's pretty funny, but I swear this works. Like, when I was a kid, this is something I always did, and my hair was like so thick, and I started doing it because I'm like, trying to remember back to when I had nice and healthy hair before it was damaged, processed. So there's 3 things, and these are not products. These are just things to do to avoid hair breakage and let your hair just naturally grow out. The first thing I stopped doing was using dry shampoo. Yes, like I was like obsessed with dry shampoo because it would give me an extra day without having to wash my hair, which sounds ridiculous, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I completely cut out dry shampoo because it just like clogs your scalp. If your hair is already greasy, that's the reason. You're obviously using dry shampoo because your hair is greasy. So your hair is greasy, your pores are clogging up, and you're putting on like all this like product, and it may give you like a nice fresh look temporarily, but it's not worth it. Instead, I would just wash my hair, and that's the best thing you can probably do, is to always keep your scalp nice and clean. So I threw out all the dry shampoos I had. It was quite hard in the beginning, but then after, just wash my hair. I typically wash my hair on day 5, but that's different for everyone. I would say just don't let your hair get too oily. Everyone says don't wash your hair every day. Don't wash it every day, but there's a fine line between overwashing it and underwashing it. So for me, day 5 is perfect. The second thing I did is I completely stopped using heat styling tools. And I know this is going to be a hard one for a lot of you, but I was using heat styling tools to cover up my damaged hair. Like, I would basically straighten it or blow dry it really hard just to make it look nice and smooth, to cover up the damaged hair. And it only made it more and more damaged. So I knew that wasn't ideal, and I couldn't keep doing that. Like, it was a vicious cycle. Like, who wants to keep doing that? Especially if your hair is bleached. Like, it's basically breaking it all the time, and your hair is gonna get thinner and thinner and thinner as it reaches the ends. So, and that's what I had. I had like thinning hair at the top, but like super thin at the bottom. It was not a good look. I don't even have any photos because it's not something I wanted to photograph. Anyway, so completely get rid of your dry shampoo, no heat styling tools, just take a break. I would blow dry my hair, like when I would wash it day 5, and I would let it air dry 50% in a microfiber towel, and then I would like blow dry it, but like away from my hair, and I would use a wet brush gently combing through and just letting it dry out. I wasn't pulling it. I wasn't like doing the blowout, none of that. I used to actually go to the hair salon every single week to get blowouts. It was like my little treat. I know it sounds weird, but I really enjoyed it, and I would go every week and my hair would just look amazing. But then I realized like doing that consistently really was not good for my hair. And I would go to different salons. It's nothing to do with the salon. It's just like they don't have time to sit there and wait for your hair to air dry for 50%, right? They're gonna go in right away and start styling it. It's not their fault, but like I knew I had to stop doing that. I would let my hair air dry, but I would never go to bed with wet hair, which I would always do sometimes too. If I was lazy, I would wash my hair and go to bed with wet hair. Like I think that's the worst thing you can do, because when your hair is wet, it's more prone to breakage. And when you're sleeping with wet hair, it's just breaking, and you can get like moldy growth on your scalp, which I didn't think about, but it makes sense, because if it's wet, dark, and like a little bit warm, that's the perfect environment for mold. So like you're doing it's like the worst thing for your scalp. So never ever go to bed with wet hair ever. Like I'd rather just dry it, like not like perfectly styled or anything, but go to bed with dry hair. And so the last thing I did, which I swear is the reason my hair stopped breaking, and you're gonna think it's crazy, but I swear, and I wanna like share this because it truly did work for me. I would put my hair every single night into 2 braids. That's it. That's all I did. That's the one thing I did that I was consistent with. I did rosemary oil, I did like head massaging, I did all these other things, but I wasn't exactly consistent. The one thing I stayed truly consistent with was putting my hair in 2 braids. Just in 2 braids, so that at night my hair wasn't breaking. And it doesn't matter if you're using a silk pillowcase, like, I mean, of course use one, that's gonna help. But if you're moving around in bed all the time, you're going to be breaking your hair if it's not like put together like in a braid. I can't explain it. You can put into a single braid, I think, but for me, 2 braids was just easier to sleep. And then in the morning, I would have like these nice natural curls, heatless curls, and I thought I would hate them, but I just kind of like, I just have to do this. But I've grown to love these like natural curls, because I used to always have my hair straightened. So now I'm just embracing this natural curl. I feel like my hair is so much healthier, so much smoother. I haven't changed anything in my hair care routine, like the products I use. I've always used pretty good products, at least like the ones that worked for me, and I continue to use them. And I can make a separate video about products I use, but I wouldn't recommend to copy anyone and the products they use. This is a kind of a trial and error. Like you have to see what works for your hair. And I found what I think works for mine. But what everyone can benefit from is putting their hair in 2 braids. I know it sounds crazy, but if your hair is just like even like a bit long enough to put into braids, do it every single night. So since September to now, I guess that's like what, 9 months, I've seen a drastic difference. Like my hair is grown out. I trimmed it in January, like it was here, and it's already grown out a lot, but it hasn't just grown out, like it's grown out thicker. Like I'm losing a lot less hair. That's gonna be a separate video. This is entirely just how to prevent breakage, because if your hair is breaking, it's never going to grow out nicely. That's just the truth. No matter how much you trim it, no matter what products you use, it doesn't matter. You have to prevent breakage to get nice, healthy, luscious, thick ends. And I think everyone can do this. I promise you, if I could do this with my damaged, bleached, dehydrated, over-processed hair, I promise you could do it too. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope, I'll be so happy if this helped anyone. Take care.